Hello guys, good afternoon, buenas tardes. Estamos aquí to have the very last class before the spring break. Okay, we're gonna try to have this class in less than the 2 hours so we can start our break soon. I'm going to start the class now. And when we finish with the content, that to be honest is not that much, we are going to be free. Okay, free for that to start our spring break. Okay, I'm going to share the screen to the presentation of today. And today we're gonna be working with grammar. And it says real conditional, first condition, well, which is the same as the first conditional. Okay, so this, the topic of this class is, as I told you, about the grammar and this conditional because there are many conditionals. So we're gonna be working with the first conditional. Okay, it says in here, real conditional plus if or when. It means that I can use if or I can use when, but it will vary. It will depend on what I'm talking about to know if I'm gonna use if or if I'm going to use when. So the structure of this is if plus the present tense in the first clause, in the first clause, and then in the second clause, it will be the will plus the infinitive. For example, if you don't study, you won't pass the exam. Here, since it says present, I have to use the present tense of the verb. If it is negative, I have to use the negative form of the simple present. With the action verbs is don't, and then the infinitive form, and with the verb to be is isn't, or aren't, or am not, depending on what I'm talking about. So in this case, the verb is study, and study is an action verb. So that's why I'm using don't. If you don't study, you won't pass the exam. Won't is a negative form of will, which is the same as will not, but in a short. Is everything okay? Do you hear me?
Yes, pero no se escuchaba ahorita.
Ajá, se trabó.
Y me vi como trabada con una cara muy extraña. Yes, okay. So I was telling you, les decía, I'm gonna use when instead of if, and it will be also with the simple present, and then in the second class, it will be the will form. Okay, so when am I gonna use if, and when am I gonna use when? Okay, so basically it's a little difference. But in general, this conditional helps me too. Okay, I'm gonna use the if or when plus the present plus the will infinitive to form a real conditional. There are two clauses, the if or when plus the present. And you can reverse the order of the clauses, but if when always uses the present tense. It means that we can reverse the order of the classes means that I can start with the if or with the when, or I can start with the will. For example, it is exactly the same if I say, if you don't study, you won't pass the exam, as if I say, you won't pass the exam if you don't study. I mean, it doesn't matter what you place first, at the end is the same result. For example, if we see Anne, we'll ask her to call you. Not if we will see Anne, we'll ask her to call you. Whenever we have the if, it's gonna be with the simple present. And whenever we have the will, it's gonna be the will plus the infinitive. And here's an example that it's reversed. We'll ask Anne to call you if we see her. Okay, that is the structure of the real conditional with if or when plus the present and the will. Now, what is it helpful? What am I gonna use this real conditional? Okay, we're gonna use the real conditionals to talk about situations in the future and the consequences. Use if for the situation that is uncertain. Use when for the situation that is certain. What does this mean? Okay, I'm gonna use if when I think it's a little more likely to happen, more just like there is a possibility to happen. And we're gonna use when I'm almost sure that it's going to happen. I don't know if I'm clear. It's a slightly difference between them. For example, I repeat, If I say a sentence with the if, it means that it can happen. It's possible to happen. And if I use the one with when, it's more than possible. Yes? Okay, let's see these two examples. If I pass my driving test today, I'll be very surprised. What does this mean? That I'm not sure I'm gonna pass, and I'm actually nervous because I have my doubts about if I'm going to pass or not the exam or the driving test. And the second one says, when I pass my driving test, my father will buy me a car. So this one means that when that situation happens, it's going to be this consequence in this case that the father is going to buy her or him a car. So it's sure about that. Yes. So with the if, not sure. With the when, more sure. Yes. Okay. It is also possible to use may or might or could or should in the main clause instead of will. So I can replace will with may, might, could, and should, and it would be basically the same result. For example, if it's sunny, we might have a picnic later. When they arrive, they should call to tell us. Okay, so I repeat the context.
Sí,
What am I going to use it for? ¿Para qué lo voy a utilizar? Para hablar sobre cosas que son
teacher,
posibles. Hacen. Yes.
dice Bernardo que si lo puede aceptar, por favor.
No sé qué pasa. Que no puedo mover acá creo que me trabé. ¿Me escuchan?
Sí, sí se escucha.
Ah, es que no me deja, no me deja abrir, no sé si alguien está intentando entrarse, no.
Ya se trabó.